You have finally arrived at the destination you spent years walking toward. The promotion is signed. The degree is framed on the wall. The number in the bank account finally matches the number you kept written on a sticky note in your head for a decade. You are standing exactly where you prayed to be 5 years ago. You are standing on the summit. And yet, as you look around this new altitude, you don't feel the cinematic swell of music you were promised. You don't feel the warm glow of completion. You feel, strangely, terrifyingly, nothing. This is the arrival fallacy in real time. It is the specific, hollow silence that follows a major victory. You expected a transformation of the self. You expected that once you crossed this threshold, the background radiation of anxiety that has hummed in your chest since childhood would finally go quiet. You thought you would become a new person, calmer, worthier, complete. Instead, you are just you, but with a new title, a slightly nicer chair, and the exact same insecurities rattling around in your skull. It feels like a betrayal. It feels like a cosmic joke. You look at the trophy, or the check, or the email, and you think, is this it? You wonder if you aimed for the wrong thing. You wonder if you wasted your youth climbing the wrong ladder. Or worse, you start to suspect that you are broken, that you are fundamentally incapable of gratitude or joy. But let me be the first to tell you, this emptiness is not a spiritual failing. It is not a sign of an ungrateful heart. It is a neurological mechanism. Your brain was never designed to register success as a permanent state. It was designed to register the pursuit. And when the pursuit ends, the machinery stops. You aren't ungrateful. You are just experiencing the biological crash of a system that has suddenly run out of road. To understand this void, we have to dismantle the architecture of your motivation. We live in a culture that fetishizes the finish line. We are raised on stories that end with happily ever after, implying that happiness is a static location, a coordinate we can plot on a map of achievements. We are taught that if we suffer enough now, we earn the right to exist peacefully later. But psychologically, the human brain does not operate on a reward system. It operates on a prediction error system. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter we lazily associate with pleasure, is actually the molecule of more. It is not a reward for getting what you want. It is the fuel for seeking what you don't have yet. Evolution didn't care if you were happy sitting on a pile of resources. It cared that you were motivated to go find more resources tomorrow. Think about the last few years. When you were striving for this goal, staying up late, sacrificing weekends, missing birthdays, stressing over the details. Your dopamine circuits were firing at maximum capacity. They were anticipating the reward. The anticipation was the high. The stress was the purpose. The moment you actually achieved the goal, the prediction error was resolved. The brain said, "Okay, we have the object. The gap is closed. Mission complete." And it shut off the fuel valve. You are left standing in the wreckage of your own victory, suffering from what psychologists call post-achievement depression. The chemical that gave your life forward momentum has evaporated, leaving you stranded in the present moment. Culturally, we aren't equipped for this. We are the burnout generation because we keep thinking the next milestone will be the one that finally allows us to rest. We treat our lives like a video game, where we expect to level up and stay there. But the human mind is subject to hedonic adaptation. This is the psychological tendency to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness, despite major positive or negative events. You get the job, and for 3 days you are ecstatic. By day 4, it is just your job. By day 30, it is a source of stress. The extraordinary becomes the ordinary with terrifying speed. Your brain normalizes the victory to free up processing power for the next threat. The conflict arises because your identity became wrapped up in the wanting. You became the person who is trying to become a doctor, or the person trying to launch the business. You enmeshed your soul with your struggle. When you succeed, that identity dies. You have to grieve the person who was striving, because that person had a clear purpose. That person knew what to do every morning, work toward the goal. The person who has arrived has no map. This is why the silence is so loud. It's the sound of your internal navigation system recalibrating. You thought the trophy would fill the hole in your chest, but the trophy is external, and the hole is internal. You cannot solve an internal psychological need with an external logistical victory. The math simply doesn't work. You have fed the beast, but the beast is still hungry. Because it wasn't hungry for success, it was hungry for meaning. So, how do we rebuild from the summit? How do we exist in the success without being consumed by the void? The first step is a radical act of cognitive reframing. You must stop viewing success as a destination and start viewing it as a data point. The goal was never the point. The capacity to achieve the goal was the point. You didn't climb the mountain to sit at the top. You climbed it to become the kind of person who could climb it. The asset isn't the view. The asset is the muscle you built on the way up. Psychologically, we need to shift from outcome-based dopamine to process-based dopamine. You have to fall in love with the boredom of the maintenance. The high of the win is a spike, and spikes are dangerous because they are followed by crashes. Sustainable satisfaction comes from the quiet, repetitive hum of competence. It comes from doing the work because the work itself is interesting, not because of what the work will buy you. You must also recognize the gap of expectation. You expected the external world to fix your internal state. You thought the accolades would act as a shield against your own self-doubt. They didn't. That is good news. It means you are now free. If the big win didn't save you, then you don't need to be afraid of losing it. You can strip away the pressure. You can look at your success and say, "This is nice, but it is not me." We have to separate your self-worth from your net worth or your social worth. This requires a deliberate practice of psychological detachment. You are the observer of your success, not the subject of it. You are the consciousness witnessing the career, not the career itself. Start small. Reintroduce novelty into your life that has no metric attached to it. Do something you are bad at. Paint poorly. Run slowly. Read books that have nothing to do with your career. You need to teach your brain that it is safe to exist without hunting. You need to retrain your dopamine receptors to respond to the subtle joys of existence, not just the massive hits of achievement. The void you feel is actually space. It is room. For years, you were so full of ambition and stress that there was no room for anything else. Now, the room is empty. Don't rush to fill it with a new anxiety. Don't rush to find the next mountain. Sit in the empty room. Look at the walls. Realize that you are enough, even when you are not winning. Realize that the silence isn't empty, it's just quiet. And you have earned the quiet. Success is a heavy coat. It looks beautiful from the outside, woven with gold thread and admiration. But on the inside, it can be suffocatingly hot. It restricts your movement. It makes you sweat. It is okay to take it off. You are not broken because you aren't happy yet. You are just human, waking up from a dream you were told to chase. The trophy is on the shelf. It is static. It is dead matter. But you are alive. You are the changing thing. You are the organism that survives the winter. The emptiness is not the end of the story. It is the blank page where the real story begins. The one where you stop trying to impress the world and start trying to know yourself. You have climbed the mountain and found it empty. Now, finally, you are free to fly.